Hey everybody, welcome back to IP Farms. Well, today's Thursday, after the major ice storm, so they said. Thought I'd get a fire going first thing, warm it up a little bit in here. The storm passed us by pretty much. We got a little bit of ice overnight on the car windshields and whatnot this morning, tree limbs, whatever, but it really didn't last. After lunch, poured down rain, and I think the rain just overcame the ice that was there. Temperatures were hovering right around freezing. So anyway, long story short, didn't really have any issues today getting to the farm, or no problems at work. So thought I'd bring you along for a little bit. We're going to try to work on this hitch for the new disc that I bought. I was able to get a few pieces mocked up and situated here. I'll show you. Did all that before I turned the camera on. Just wanted to say ahead of time, in case you see my poor man's garage door there, it flaps in the wind sometimes. If you hear a strange noise in the background, you know what it is. Kind of breezy still. It's just gloomy and cold, so thought I'd put the door down, try to capture some heat. So let's show you what I've done here so far. I tried cutting that piece apart off the other old disc. The pin is jammed up in there. It had a roll pin there. I was able to get that out, but I heated and beat and heated and beat and heated and beat, and it just wasn't budging. So I cut everything apart. Was going to slice the sleeve off of it and try to reuse it, but it was bent anyway already, so I just started over from scratch. Got me some I guess you would consider slot plates there. I'll explain that in a second. Went ahead and made a new hitch. Basically just took some 1/2 inch stuff and took a piece of square tubing. Got a thick wall piece of pipe in here. This is a 1 inch pin. Put that inside the square tube and welded it up, and then just welded both of the flat plates there onto that. I'll give it the pivot. Plug welded it there. Run a 7/8 pin. So, but the slot plates here are, I'll show you what I'm looking at doing here. You can see how bad the holes are. They're egg shaped in the hitch here. Years and years of wear, I guess. So my plan is to weld these on the outside, and I've got 4 of them, and then weld one on the inside, which will take up some of the play in the hitch that I made. If my measurements are correct, hopefully everything will line up. So we'll see what happens. I need to get this finished up so I can get the lines on the hydraulic cylinder. Then all I've got left is to get the tires and wheels mounted and check the wheel bearings, and the new disc will be ready to use also. And then that should be all the tillage equipment ready to put in the ground as soon as it warms up. So I might set you up for a little bit of this. It's going to be more cutting and grinding and welding. We'll see what happens. So stay tuned. I'll bring you back in a few. Okay, thought I'd show you this before we get started with the grinding and cutting. Got the chain hoist up. I've got a big huge beam across the whole span of the roof joists, I guess you would say. I think it's an 8x8 oak beam, and chain wrapped around it there with a chain pawl. This thing's pretty heavy, so I'm not too old to be bending down on the floor with it, and I really can't get it lifted up to get it in the vise, so thought I'd show you that. Looks like everything's going to work out pretty good. This is what we're looking at here. I'm going to go in there, and like I said, the slot plates will go on each side, take up some of that, and that'll give my pivot on the pin. So let's get started grinding some stuff up, and looks like everything's pretty good. We just got to get it cleaned up and welded on there. I did make me a pin here out of some 1 inch solid. I'm not sure if I'm going to put a bolt in it. I just did this for mock-up purposes so I can get it stuck through there like so. That's going to be pretty tight. I might should have made it just a little bit longer, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, I might just end up getting a 1 inch bolt and a nylock nut to put on it, just to lock it down. I don't know. I have to weld some washers on this and drill a hole and whatnot, but basically just did that so I'd have mock-up purposes. so I can get the swivel in there. Okay, let's get you set up and see if we can get a little bit of this afternoon. Bring you back shortly. Okay, sorry if the camera's shaky. All that grinding makes my hands tingle. Here's what we're looking at. Like I said, got the slot plate out here, slot plate on the inside, another slot plate here, and slot plate out here. Basically, that'll just be new material, if you will, adding on. It's still got plenty of, it doesn't really have much side-to-side motion, enough that it's not going to bind up, but it doesn't have too much, and still got plenty of swivel. This pin here is just something I'm going to have to, these holes, they're 1 inch, supposed to be, that's what I drilled them, but I'm going to have to either polish my pin up or large those holes out a little bit, so I had something else that's, this fits these real good, but it's a little sloppy in here, but no big deal. Okay, let's see if we can get the welder out and get these tacked up. Bring you back shortly. Okay, got the welder drug out. Quality control is off a little bit on this piece. I had to grind it down some more to get it to swivel completely. It's a little down here. The measurement's a little different than up here. I guess it's bent just a little bit or something, but we've got them in there. What I'm going to attempt to do is get everything tacked up with a pin in it, and then weld the down sides on both sides, and then once I get that welded, let it cool off so nothing moves, and I'm probably going to pull the pin out and weld across here in a root pass, and then once I get it hot, then I'll take a hammer and kind of beat that over just a little bit and see if I can build it up and weld it to the top of this. Like I said, I don't think it's going to make much difference either way. That'll definitely take up the slop in there. So let's see what we can do. Bring you back in just a minute. Okay, we'll try to get a little bit of this in real time, see what happens. Well, it would help if I cut the gas on, wouldn't it? That'll be nice to grind out. Never fails. Walk to the toolbox and it breaks free. Okay. I'm sure I'll probably have to polish these holes up, or the pin or bolt or whatever, because it's going to move a little bit once I weld it, get all the heat to it. But pretty pleased with that. Got plenty of good swivel, not too much play, about enough for a piece of farm equipment. Remind everybody again, this is not a machine shop. As long as it's close and it'll go together and serves the purpose, we'll go with it. Okay. I think I might wrap this one up for today here in just a minute. Come back tomorrow and even weld this up. Okay, I believe we'll wrap this one up for today. It's getting kind of late where I did all this work before I returned the camera on, so please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Like the video if you like what you see. Share it with anybody you feel comfortable with. Try to get a little bit more tomorrow. Till next time, thank you.